Hello, everyone. My name is Nida Shahid, and today joining us is Nehal Ijaz, making a special guest appearance to share his insights on team and episodic models. So, with half of the year behind us, Nehal, my first question is that how prepared are hospitals for team implementation? And are most hospitals where they need to be or what they can do to accelerate the progress?
Hello, Nida. First of all, thank you so much for having me this time again. I remember we discussed the episodic models about BPCI as well in the past and having a grip on this topic of discussion. So it's a pleasure to be here once again. Right. So, Nida, if I could speak about the Teams model, which is just around the corner, as you know, it's going to start from 1st January 2026. So, CMS has started sharing the baseline data with all of its hospitals which are going to participate in this program. And this baseline data essentially covers the data for 2.5 to 3 years. So, it covers all of the 5 episode groups which are a part of Teams model. And if we could go through that data and look over that data, so the hospitals are now covering up and gearing up for the session as well. They are making their technicalities much more enabled. They are in discussion with the providers as well as the different services, right? So basically, what's going on is that everyone needs to be aligned before 1st January 2026. This is the key factor. And if I could speak about the previous episodic models, which is also of great importance, since this is the third major episodic model after CGR and then BPCA, and then we have the Teams model. So it's of high importance that everyone is now a little bit, I guess not a little bit, much more experienced than what it was back in 2016, 2017, right? So this makes us much more streamlined in terms of the relevance, in terms about the cost, the spending, and how the patient criticality factors in, right? So the baseline data is of critical importance. Everything is aligned in that. The hospitals can literally like look over what's going on with the data and how to like manipulate in the coming years.
Thank you so much, Nehal, for answering that. But can you just give us a brief overview of all the updates that have happened in this model from our previous conversation?
Right. So having said that, Teams model is basically a blend of BPCI and CJR. And if we could talk about the target price, which is one of the key factors in this episodic models. So target price this time is a blend of BPCI as well as CGR, right? So there are certain factors which were used in CGR and certain factors used in BPCI. Now both of them are combined, just so that there is a high level of accuracy as well. So all the shortcomings of BPCI, all the shortcomings of CGR are removed, and then a much more comprehensive target price is being built. Having said that, the other point is that this teams model also incorporates the regional level target prices as well as hospital level target prices. But let me remind you again, the value and the immense importance is of a particular episode target price. So this is where the hospital will stand uniquely, because we will be giving the average target price, the hospital target price, the region target price. But each episode particularly depends on its individual episode target price. So this is where those hospitals which are well prepared, which have the great data analytics going on, they'll be going through each individual patient level details. And this is where they can directly pinpoint what's going on with the discharge disposition, what's going on with the target prices, who, who went where, what was the ratio, how much was the criticality. You see, this is the key factor. I mean, taking out the cost on average is something else, but going deeper dive into the details of each patient helps us being much more patient centric. So this is one of the key factors. Then comes the spending. Spending is, since you know about the 5 different episodes of teams, the spending is very high in this. So all in all, it will be a very uh, complex blend of target price versus total spend, so that the NEPRA remains within in control and the hospitals are also well charged with this. And then comes another key factor change, if I could speak, is about the discharges in this model. So the key difference in this program is about the 30-day discharge. So earlier in BPCI program, it used to be a 90-day episode, right? But in Teams model, the episode is of 30-day. So this greatly impacts the readmission of each and every episode, right? So this carries an immense importance that how many patients are being discharged and how many are being readmitted, because in this particular model, each and every patient much likely will be treated as a new episode, considering the fact if it comes after 30 days, right? So this carries an immense importance at what level of care is being given. So Nida, one more thing about this model, which was not exactly found in BPCI, is that in BPCI we used to look over the patient-specific risk adjustments as well. But in this model, CMS has also inculcated the hospital-specific risk adjustments. So we do have different flags for hospital risk adjustments as well, and these will also be incorporated in the target prices. Therefore, now not only patient specific but also hospital specific, which makes much more cohesive between them.
Okay, so from your experience, how does a tech vendor like Persivia enable hospitals and health systems to track, manage, and improve critical team quality measures like readmissions, PSI 90, and other outcomes in real times?
Right. So this is one of the key questions, I guess. And to be very honest, this is the exact time to ask this question as well, Nada, considering that only 3 months are left behind. So everyone needs to like buckle up, right? Uh, Again, I'll bring you back towards the episodic models being done by Persivia, such as CJR and BPCI. So one of the key strengths of Persivia was that they like really used to go deep dive into the details of each hospital's its discharge, its positions, and then the patient-centric metrics as well. That what was the criticality of the patient, where when did he came to the hospital, what was the discharge disposition, and how much of the length of stay was in snakes, how much of the length of stay was in the hospice, home health, what was their cost, and which provider like dealt with that. So these are of the key factors in this, and I'm very hopeful that this time as well, the vendors such as Persevia or others, they'll be like digging deep down into these details since everyone has a lot of experience in all of these things. And this data, especially converting from the raw base data to this meaningful data where we can directly understand what's going on and what's not going on with the cost, with the healthcare, with the patients, with the providers as well, and overall at the enterprise level. So this will be like greatly helpful. And this is how it was earlier going on for the episodic models, and I really uh, wish the best and hope that Persevere will again be aligned on this.
Of course, I mean, Persevere is one of those platforms that unifies the supports and teams, unifies team and other episodic models, even ACOs and full population risk. So, and that too into seamlessly one place. So, I think that we are doing a great job, and thank you so much for being part of this and also keeping us updated on teams.
Right. So thank you so much, Nida, for inviting me once again over here. And so it was a pleasure talking to you and discussing all of the previous episodic models as well once again. Thank you so much.